So what I wanted to ask you is getting in. Like, how did you start as an intern, or did you start on like a UN contract and then kind of get that contract extended?
Oh, okay.
And
sure.
Also, is it good to go out to the field versus being here? Like, if because there are a lot of students who want to break into this and get a start, right? So what's the best strategy?
Okay, well, I would say for anybody that's thinking about this world, and I had no background in the international development at all till this position, but you want to look at the structure for your agency. At least this is what advice I would tell myself from 2 years ago, because, for example, in my agency, 60% of the staff are consultants. So it's very normal to be a consultant, but you don't have education benefits, relocation benefits, health insurance, right? However, it's extremely, like, you have to have a special thing that's coordinated between your government and that agency for your position. So it's virtually, it's very difficult to start that way. However, if you get an internship with my particular agency, that's the way to start.
So it's true that getting an internship, was yours paid?
Interns at my agent, I didn't start as an intern. I started straight as a consultant.
Oh, you did.
I'm saying
you can start as an intern, paid intern.
No.
Okay.
And also, there's been like protests in Geneva about this. UN agencies generally interns are not paid.
Oh.
It's very, I mean, there's like obviously.
No, I thought, yeah, and I know that they're kind of under scrutiny precisely because they're trying to work on these issues, right? So,
because it's not fair to bringing in the best people.
Yeah. But basically, the opportunities are there to start as an intern.
Yeah.
Unpaid is an issue, but then also you get the contracts, short-term contracts. You extend the contract. So this is very much like the World Bank scenario, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But the reason I'm saying check the background of your agency though, because, for example, I work a lot with UNHCR, you know, the UN High Commission of Refugees, and their agency is about 10 times bigger. So if you're interested in that area of work, you'll see their name everywhere, and they have very few consultants. So when I first said I was a consultant, they're like, oh, you're lazy, you don't do any work. The consultant is like such an obscure position. It's only if you need like a very small piece of work and you can never get that person to finish it. You know, like they don't have it, right? So
it's a not good reputation.
They don't have it in that agency, but that's just a different contractual relationship than the ones that a consultant has in ours. Whereas in that other agency, they have what they call a TA, a temporary assignment, and that's your way to get your foot in the door for that agency because they have a ton of TAs.
Okay.
And then that's how you'd start in UNHCR. So. And then in WFP, World Food Program, I also they have a big presence where I work. They have neither a lot of consultants nor TAs. You just start as full staff. However, usually,
but can you get those jobs as full staff?
Well, the thing is, at least in my location, it's almost 98% are national staff, which means they're coming from the country they work in.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right, so I can't say.
So not local hires though.
A lot of them are
local hires.
I mean, yeah. So but that's for that location. But I would say like, so you can't really say in general for UN agencies, like, because every agency will have its own method and contractual standards. But if you can find someone in that agency, you can ask them these type of things. Because I didn't understand that till I was working actually. And somebody said, "Oh, consultants are so lazy." I'm like, "Well, everyone in Habitat is a consultant. What are you talking about?"
Oh yeah.
You know.
I mean, these are the things you discover. I mean, I always say the UN system and the World Bank system is kind of special. And thank you. So that's a really good point. So we'll stop here for now, but I do want to get back with Catherine on questions like, so applying to, just so that you guys know and you can tune in again, we'll post a time when we can do this. But like when you're applying, like what kind of skills you would highlight, right? Like in a cover letter or resume, or when you're networking. Obviously, I'm sure networking is a really big piece. And so, hi Vijay, how are you? So, yeah, I think what students would really find useful is like you went through the process not too long ago, so you know the lingo, you know kind of what you need to highlight in terms of previous experience and skill set and a passion for development, that kind of thing, right? So let's catch up again on that. And then the other thing is Catherine did an amazing switch, which is actually an architect. Like an architect, like a regular, normal architect, and then she went from that into working for the United Nations. But I mean, it's awesome that you ended up the bridge there, I guess, is you're doing something where you're still building houses, which is awesome. I mean, that's exactly what you want in a switch. I always say that with a career switch, no switch is impossible if you can find that kind of bridge, right? Because you're doing that's technically
expertise.
Right. That's your expertise, but what an amazing, huge jump. And so I want to kind of talk about that too. So we'll let you know when, and then that way you can have prepared questions if you're interested in working in this area. And so thank you so much, Catherine. I know you just got off a flight and you barely had anything to.
Sorry, I made her sit in a loud location so I could enjoy the weather out of the outside, away from the equator.
And being back in DC, right? Like you kind of want to. It's exciting to sit outside
In a city.
Yeah, in a city. Yeah. All right, guys, take care. Catch you soon. Bye.